Hello, and welcome to Totally Schway, a podcast about the DCAU. My name is Mary,
My name's Luke.
and today we are going to talk about poison ivy. But before that, Luke, do you have any news or anything you'd like to talk about or anything like that?
I don't think so, no. I mean, I've literally just come from unloading the last of my Mondo Batman figures into storage along with all of my comics. I made a joke that it feels like I'm moving out, but that's literally it. That's your fresh news, hot off the press.
I have news.
Oh, do you? Go on then.
Yeah, well, it's like personal news, as in like I'm going out of the flat. Like I'm getting out of here. Like going into the real world cautiously. So I have 2 weekends, the next 2 weekends that are coming up, which will be the 7th and the 15th, I believe, both Sundays.
8th and 15th.
8th and 15th, excuse me. Um, I'm going to be going out, and the first one is Batman 89. We're going to go see the orchestra play as we watch the movie, which is awesome. It's a little event. Well, I say little, I don't think it's that little. It's a nice event held in
It's in Hammersmith at the
Hammersmith, yeah.
Apollo.
I don't usually go to Hammersmith, so have I been there before?
I don't think so.
I don't think I have either.
Capcom's offices are there, I think, and Disney's were at one point.
Yeah, I don't think I've been there. And then the weekend after that, on the 15th, one of our favorite comic places in London. I want to say comic places, but to me, it's where I find some really neat books.
Hmm.
And there's loads of lovely prints and stuff like that. And you get to meet people there if you go at the right time. So Gosh Comics, they're having like their own little Batman Day, kind of. Do you
Yeah.
want to explain that a little bit? Because I just know that they're going to be selling some Batman stuff, but I don't know why.
Yes, yeah, sure. So they basically came into possession of a very expansive Batman collection, not just comics, but also like statues and props and things like that. Apparently, there's 22,000 items that they are exhibiting. Exhibiting? Yeah, that's the right word. And they will also be available for sale. So Mary and I are going to go down there and look at all of these things, and I'm probably going to come out broke. But yeah, that's on the Sunday, and I think they're just having the stuff out for a couple of days, but it opens on Sunday.
Yeah, and if any of you guys live in or around London, you will know that this is going to be a feat because of the travel. Because so a lot of the time when here in England, when things get worked on in terms of the rail, they do it like on the weekend. So they'll have like replacement buses or rail replacement buses and stuff like
Yeah,
that. So that is going to be a feat, but I think it'll be worth it
yeah, it should be fine.
because we usually drive to, or Luke drives, I don't drive, usually drives to the station, the train station in our town, and then we go from there to London.
Hmm.
But this time it's probably going to be a bit more than the usual like ease.
Yeah, it'll probably be fine.
Yeah, I know it'll be fun, but it's just saying, if any of you guys want to go there and you're in a similar situation and need to get into London, just remember to always check to see if there are rail links.
Yeah, yeah, or if the tube's closed or anything like that.
Yeah. And if it is, please, please, please do not get pissy with the rail workers. It's really not their fault. Well, especially the ones that work at like the ticket offices and stuff. They're
Yeah.
usually really kind. But yeah, that was kind of like the news. It's just I'm actually going into the world.
You make it sound like you live in a cave.
Gilgamesh is so happy in the background. He's playing with we call them little snakies,
Yeah.
but they're little plastic things from packages that, like that hold the boxes together or whatever.
Yeah.
So if you hear him in the background, mind your business. All right, let's get on to the topic at hand, which is that sounded like it was an edit. It was like, let's get the topic at hand. Um, Poison Ivy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna let you start with this.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Yeah, give us a little background. Give us a little. Can you serum like this?
Yeah, yeah, I can. I'm not going to, though. All right. So, Poison Ivy was a character that debuted in 1966. One of her co-creators, Carmine Infantino, said that at the time the Batman show was starting to take off, and they were trying to come up with characters that could very easily appear in the TV show. Poison Ivy was one of them. Unfortunately, the bubble burst on Batmania before she could transition to the screen, so she was kind of forgotten about for most of a decade. And through much of the 1970s, she was just a generic plant villain. In the 80s, they leant more into the seduction angle, I guess, perhaps as the rules in what could be published in comics lessened, became less strict. But she was still just very much a generic plant lady. She was a member of the Secret Society of Supervillains and part of the Suicide Squad for a little while.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I did not know that.
yeah, but I'd say that the Poison Ivy everyone knows now, like the Eco Warrior Poison Ivy, really, I think that comes from Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah. And who was that beautiful, lovely, I could listen to her for hours voice?
It's Diane Pershing.
Yeah. I think she did it there. Like it was perfect between like a nice seductress, but also when it's not just you listening to her voice, it's she's commanding you to listen. And the way that she put that voice out there was just it was so much more than just like a cute character, if you know what I mean. She really did it, just like a lot of the people, most of them from Batman the Animated Series did. Like Ingrid Bergman or Humphrey Bogart and stuff like that. And it was just it was captivating to me just listening to her because you can it makes you just want to listen a little bit more. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It's a performance of someone with experience acting, right? Not just someone. I'm struggling to articulate this, but it's not like she just turned up and just started speaking. It's a very intentional performance from someone that knows how to act.
Yeah.
Like Diane Pershing had talked about how she, when she read like the description of Poison Ivy as like a scientist first, and then like a femme fatale, she thought, okay, I need to have like an authoritative voice, but also with a little bit of va-va-voom in there as well.
The va-va-voom.
Yes. And it's that combination, I think, that elevates the performance. And I think one thing to say is that in the comics, she didn't get an origin for like the first 10 years of her existence. She got one eventually. And her first origin was that she had been a university student who was seduced by her lecturer and persuaded to commit a robbery to steal like this ancient root from a museum or a herb, something like that. And he crafted it into a poison and then fed it to her, trying to kill her, but it made her Poison Ivy. Later on, she was reimagined as the assistant of Jason Woodrue. I really, really don't like this, but he's like an interdimensional plant being that posed as a man to try and kill off everyone and, bring about an age of plants.
That's something.
Yeah, and then he experimented on her and tried to kill her and etc. So there's very much like victimhood in her origin story in the comics, which is something, she overcomes. She ends up killing Woodrow.
What?
But, I mean, he's a plant. He ends up growing back. But anyway, where was I going with that? Yeah, so in the show, they don't actually give her an origin.
Which I love. Yeah. I love that.
She just exists. That in the writer's Bible that they initially did before Alan Burnett joined the team and basically scrapped everything, they talked about how she had been victimized by a gang of boys in a greenhouse as a child, and then the greenhouse burnt down. And that was like her traumatic moment. But I think they kind of wisely went, actually, no, let's steer clear of any like sexual assault allegory or even literal in that case. Let's just have her be her own independent person. She's not someone's assistant. She's not someone's unwitting henchwoman. She is a scientist in her own right. She is brilliant. She has her own agency. She does what she wants to do, and she doesn't. She doesn't target people because of what they have done to her.
Mm-hmm.
She targets people for what they have done to who she sees as the victims, and that's plants.
Yeah, which is like the environment, the world, and
Yes.
I think it's a really great take on like global warming, climate change, what we as humanity do, like humans do to what the world we live in.
Yes, very much so. Very much of her time, because the early 90s, there was an awful. I mean, there had been like eco warriors for probably a very very long time. It was very flower power was a big thing in the 70s, right? But everyone was talking about global warming in the 90s. I know it was raised before then, probably as early as maybe even the 50s, 40s.
Why? It's because the internet was becoming more accessible, but also the way that our news
Hmm.
started to become more widely available than it had been
Yeah.
even 10 years before that.
Yes, yeah, and technology is
Yeah.
basically the answer to why it became more
Mhm.
readily available. Improved communications and better ways of measuring things and larger data samples, and then you can start forming conclusions.
Damn cell phones.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
But so the thing I really like about this take on Poison Ivy is that she is a woman on a crusade, much in the same way Batman is on his own crusade, but where Batman protects victimized people, Poison Ivy protects what she views as victimized plants. And she thinks plants are more important than people. And you can see the similarities to Batman, but she is very clearly more insane than him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, some people might disagree. They might say, actually, I think trees are way more important than the average person. And you know what?
To be honest, I have no opinion on that.
Well,
I really don't, because I love this Poison Ivy, not only because of how she feels about like the environment and stuff like that, but also how she deals with people that disagree with her.
turns them into trees.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, you said Eternal Youth,
it's
second episode.
one of my favorite episodes. I was
Yeah.
going to talk, or we were going to talk about that
Yeah.
a little bit more, and we should just go ahead and do that now.
Yeah, okay. So I guess with Pretty Poison, she poisons Harvey Dent.
Hmm.
Batman uncovers the mystery and has her sent to prison. And obviously, there's an irony that Stonegate Prison, Harvey Dent's, Better Safer Gotham campaign, destroyed the plants that she was avenging. And she ended up being locked up in there briefly. But when we see her in Eternal Youth, the next appearance, I believe, she is running a rich person's spa and retreat out in the middle of the wilderness with her. She's got an enzyme that is supposed to reverse the aging process, and technically it does.
Sorry, my knuckles are cracking a lot today.
I don't think it has been picked up by
That's
the mic. Don't
okay.
worry.
It will be one day because I'll be like, click.
Yeah, but she's posing as Dr. Demeter, and her special enzyme to reverse the aging process actually starts turning people into trees.
Yeah, but the thing is, with that episode, watching it as an adult, I had completely forgot about the turning them into plants, because I had just thought about like, because you know me, I love a spa, although I've not been to very many in my life, but because I trained to be a beauty therapist and stuff like that, I've always loved beauty stuff as a kid and as an adult and whatever. But I really want to blame her for that. um, her and Catwoman, man. But I totally forgot about that. And then, so watching it as an adult, as soon as Maggie and Alfred are driving down into the gate, I'm like, plants. They're turning into those plants. And then when you remember, you feel so silly because you're like, oh, of course, she's not actually got the eternal youth.
Yeah. Well, I suppose she has.
Yeah.
She has
In a
technically,
way,
but in
yeah.
like a cursed monkey paw style way, like I want to be young forever. Okay, we're going to turn you into a plant that ages very, very slowly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this episode has the perfect chemistry for me.
Hmm.
It's funny in places
Yes.
because of especially because of Alfred.
Yep.
You've got that oh shit moment because obviously Bruce is like, oh no.
When he
Oh,
mixes the
mhm.
enzyme with equal parts, as he says at the time, human plasma,
Yeah.
and then it turns into like this massive writhing plant, and he cacks his pants and runs upstairs, going, "Alfred, Alfred!"
And then obviously he's probably going to be doing that for a couple, like a couple miles.
Several flights of stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then on the drive there, um, and then you have the poison ivy, who just is always perfect performance, as you really want to believe just for a moment that she's gonna be doing good, but then you remember she's Ivy.
Hmm.
And all of the people she's invited, and somehow, some way, they're all connected, and
Yes, they're all billionaire polluters.
yeah,
It's her ironic punishment, basically.
yeah. And it's such the perfect chemistry, and then the ending, and then again, it's just the perfect chemistry for any whether that's a movie, TV show, or just a song. They all like marry together and create this beautiful thing.
Mm, yeah. And Poison Ivy has two henchwomen in this one. It's Lily and Violet. I don't think they show up again off the top of my head.
I don't remember them
They were in the
from the episode, but I
yeah,
don't remember them from anything else.
they're in the Sega CD Adventures of Batman and Robin game. During the cutscenes, you got to chase after them.
I did not play that because I didn't. I don't. I never had a Sega CD.
No, no, I remember watching a live stream of Ted Kendrick playing it, and it was not a good game, but it had some really lovely cutscenes that were made by the people who made the show.
Hmm.
So people refer to it as like the lost episode.
Oh, I forgot to say because
Go on.
Ivy. She was introduced in 1966.
Yeah.
There was another character that was introduced in 1966. My mama. My mama was. I don't think my mom was a comic book character.
No, your mother, well, she is a character, but not a comic book
Yeah,
character.
everyone in my family is a character. I swear. They can all have their own like superpower. Um, so Eternal Youth, that's Eternal Youth.
Yeah.
But like I said, it all marries together and creates, to me, uh, one of the perfect TV episodes in history. There, I said it, and I mean it too, because it is so up my alley, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, this whole show's up my alley, but this episode in particular, I feel very like, if anyone ever said anything bad about it to me, I'd be like, um, hmm?
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah, it's a good horror story as well,
Yeah.
because there are some episodes that are just really horrible, and that's all they are.
Bit Twilighty Zone in a way,
Yeah,
but
but
like newer Twilight Zone, not older Twilight
yeah,
Zone.
whereas this one is there's a horrific twist in it, but it's also, as you said, there's comedy with Alfred
Mhm.
and Maggie's relationship, and it's a shame Maggie never turned up again either.
Yeah.
Um,
In my
and
heart, she was always in the background.
yeah, and there's mystery as well, and like
Yes.
what's going on, and in terms of the events at the spa, weird science, and then just like the horror. One thing that always confused me though, so she's got this enzyme, right, that causes humans to turn into plants.
Hmm.
When she accidentally drops the enzyme and it shatters and spills all over the ground, this massive tree grows, right? Like massive tree, hundreds of feet tall.
Like a redwood or a sequoia or something.
Yeah, but it's also like really wide. It's wider than the whole building. So like possibly the world's largest tree. Why
Yeah.
does she not use that enzyme to repopulate the areas that have been, you know, had all the trees cut down, deforestation? Why does she not undo deforestation with that? Shut up.
Well, the thing is, I want to answer this, but I'm not a doctor.
No.
And you have to remember, as you do, um, she doesn't have the greatest mental health, does she?
No, she doesn't.
You want to believe that she is this, well, she is this smart, intelligent, yeah,
Yeah.
a person that, you know, she is very smart and, you know, she knows what she's doing. But there's also a point that you have to remember that she might not be in control of everything she's doing
Yes.
as, um,
That's a fair point.
yeah.
And who's to say that that wasn't her plan after she got rid of all the billionaires that were exploiting the planet?
Yeah.
Maybe that was her plan. She's like, I'm going to get rid of all of them because if I end up repopulating the forest, they'll just chop these trees down again, and then it's just an endless massacre.
And that
Let's get rid of them and then repopulate.
and that's one of the many, many, many beautiful things about BTAS or any of the DCAU shows is that you can interpret it however you would like. But I do think a lot of people who had seen people with mental health issues or suffered from mental health issues themselves wrote and directed and created these shows because you can definitely see bits and pieces of people you know or pieces of yourself in this. And with Ivy, I can definitely see people I know.
Yeah.
I don't see myself in her at all because I'm not that intelligent, let's be real. Um and I don't know a lot about botany. I mean, there's a particular plant that I know a lot about. Um, but thanks, Mom. um, but a plant I don't like, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But I see a lot of people that I've known, that I know of in this, and it's not just Ivy, it's Bruce as well, because Bruce obviously has that hero complex as if he's Batman.
Yeah.
But also you start to see his abandonment again, even though Alfred would never purposely abandon him, right? He still gets that. Like as he's going up the stairs, you can feel it in Kevin's voice.
Yeah.
And just there's so much. I could sit and talk about that episode for hours. But let's move on to.
Well, I was just going to say, this will actually, maybe this will work as a transition. I think one of the strengths of BTAS's Poison Ivy is that she works on multiple levels in multiple different types of stories.
Mhm.
She can be like a seductive femme fatale. She can be a weird scientist horror story. She can be a bank robber, like she is in, Harley and Ivy,
Mhm.
where the whole scheme there is that they're just stealing. They are just stealing. That's entirely different from her campaigns of revenge, where the first one where she seduced Harvey Dent, and then the second one where she lured billionaires to her retreat and turned them into plants.
Mhm.
After that, she's just going on heists, stealing money to fund her research.
Yeah.
And she's got a very, I would say, a very wholesome friendship with Harley Quinn, because she does seem to want
Yeah.
the best for her. And it has evolved into romance over the years, and there are scenes of I don't know how you would describe it, perhaps just saying of sexual tension, perhaps.
Yeah. But what I wanted to talk about was that relationship.
Yeah.
So I've mentioned that before, I love their relationship. And what I mean by that, the main thing that I love about it is Ivy, in terms of the villains, is one of the only people that actually want Harley to be Harley and to do, things that make Harley happy. Yes, she can do things with her, like, steal and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, Ivy is friends with Harley.
Yeah.
And wherever the relationship goes, she's always going to want the best for her. Unlike the Joker, who wants Harley when it pleases him to have Harley in his life.
Mhm.
Like if he needs her to do, put gas and stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like that. Whereas Ivy, it's not a transactional relationship in my eyes. It's an actual friendship.
Yeah, so with Joker, he wants to keep Harley in a very specific role. He wants to limit her, keep her in a box essentially
Mm-hmm.
as the henchwoman. Whereas Ivy, as you said, wants more for her and points out, the way she's been acting, she is a doormat, and that's why people don't respect her, because she just lets people walk all over her. And the thing with Ivy is she wants Harley to stand up for herself
Mm-hmm.
and kind of encourages her to and supports her when she does.
And it's always consistent throughout the
Yeah.
entire series.
Yeah.
That consistency never goes. There are points where you don't see them together a lot, but you can still see that consistency when Ivy's, with Bruce and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, she actually doesn't mind Bruce. It's just, obviously he's associated with billionaires that have, ruined the world and whatever. But at the end of the day, she wants her plants to be plants, and she wants the world to understand. She wants society to understand that plants give us power.
Yeah.
They give us oxygen and stuff like that. That's her consistency, but also the consistency with Harley and Ivy's relationship. I hope that makes sense.
Makes sense to
I
me.
keep saying that. I'm sorry, guys, if you get annoyed with me saying, "Oh, I hope that makes sense," but she's consistent in being a multidimensional character.
Yeah.
And I love that because it's a real person. Like, I mean, obviously it's not a real person. It's a character in a TV show, but it feels like that's an actual person that somebody has written about, because it's not just this "I'm on a plane" type of thing. Every time I just think of like just a one-dimensional plane, I think of that song, but it has nothing
See,
to
I
do
get
with
it. I
that.
get it.
Yeah.
Good pun, actually. That's a good pun.
But yeah, I love that. But there are some characters that are like that.
Yeah.
But that's okay, because sometimes we need that. But there are other times when you, like, what makes it so cool that they didn't give her a complete backstory of this, like a whole, like, the origins of Poison Ivy. You can come up with whatever you like, because she could have just randomly just had the thought in her one day,
Mm.
I'm going to be Poison Ivy and da 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 da, I'm gonna be a botanist. Or she could have had this whole thing where she was like an eco warrior, and then something really bad happened, and all of this and all of that. Anything could work with this character. And
Yeah.
you know what that means? Great writers and creators. I cannot, say this enough when we talk about these shows. Like, some of the greatest creators worked on this, in my opinion, because you just can't get characters like that, as good as that, these days. I sound so old.
I don't think you do.
Wait till I start talking about my hip. But yeah, that's with Ivy. She is so different than any other character in the DCAU because of that whole, you don't know. You know, but you don't know. You think you know, but you have no idea. Name that show, by the way. I've mentioned it before on here. Um, if you're an early 2000s person, you know. But like with Ivy, not with Ivy, with Harley, with Selena, and like Andrea, you get sort of a backstory, for each of them, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you kind of know how it's gonna go, because they're kind of like that person from the beginning, except for Andrea, because she's very vengeful near the end. Spoiler alert. Um, but with Ivy, no, and it's so cool because she's a little bit different each time, like you mentioned, and it just, nobody's the same.
Yeah.
In the real world. Let's be honest, guys. Like, Sylvia Plath said something. No, it wasn't Sylvia Plath. It was Joan Didion said about writing in a journal. So on Pinterest a lot, but I've read what this is from. It's something about I was many different people then, and I so believe that.
Mm.
And yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's very true, because we all are three-dimensional, multifaceted beings, even if sometimes it doesn't seem like it. It's easy to forget that we all are.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why I think this version of the character has endured when other ones perhaps haven't. Not to dunk on anything, but for instance, the Batman's Poison Ivy was reimagined as a teenage eco warrior, and after her first two stories, they didn't really come up with anything else for her to do because they had put her in a box basically, and there wasn't really anything else they could do with that character, or at least they felt they couldn't do much with it. I mean, some of the tie-in comics gave her some additional stories, like teaming her up with Harley Quinn again, and there's a different dynamic between them with her being a teenager and Harley being an adult. But
I've got that quote actually that I
oh,
think there's things because I love Sylvia Plath.
that's the shepherd's crook coming off and pulling me off
Yeah.
stage.
And Joan Didion, just because brilliant people. And I do get their quotes mixed up a bit, but this is from Joan Didion. Uh, I have already lost touch with a couple of people I used to be.
Yeah.
And I believe this is the one where she was talking about writing and like looking over some of her old journals. I believe that's what it's from, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, it'd be impossible to talk about Poison Ivy without talking about an episode like House and Garden.
Hmm.
I really love that one because again, it returns to those like horror roots, pun intended.
Yes.
You know, she's intended to reform, and I genuinely think she did intend to reform. But she kind of did it on her terms, and her terms were uh, basically seducing her doctor, marrying him, putting him in a tank, and cloning plant babies from him, and kind of living domestic bliss with her clone husband and clone babies and kind of replacing them every couple of days. And she was perfectly happy doing that. Now, they were committing robberies to fund their lifestyle and the research, and I imagine that cloning all those weird plant babies isn't cheap. But that was kind of her version of reforming.
Hmm.
And there's just something so, I don't know, it's so twisted, like a really warped domestic bliss, you know? And at the end of the episode, after she has escaped because she left a plant clone of herself, and the real her has escaped on a plane, she's looking over the photos from her her adventures. There's a picture of Harvey Dent and Bruce Wayne breaking ground on their better, safer Gotham. There's a picture from the newspaper of her and Harley robbing a jewelry store. There's a picture of her car, Rosebud, which is very funny. Little reference to Citizen Kane there.
Hmm.
And also pictures from her wedding to her little plant family. And she weeps when she's leaving it behind.
Yeah.
It's not like some wicked scheme. That's what she thought domestic bliss could be.
Oh my God, this was Black Mirror before Black Mirror.
Yeah, yeah. And, by the time of the new Batman adventures, she's kind of shed all pretense of normality. Like her skin has gone this kind of very light green colour, indicating a more close relationship with plants. And I love the episode Chemistry as well, where she does something similar to House and Garden, except it's for other people. So she makes these plant people that are intended to be like the ideal partners for the wealthy elites of Gotham and gets them to marry.
Hmm.
And then they all go on the same honeymoon cruise. And Poison Ivy intends to murder them all on the boat and take the money.
Yeah.
And obviously, one of the people that gets caught up in this is Batman, because he's a wealthy bachelor, and he ends up marrying a plant woman called Susan. One of my favourite new Batman Adventures moments is at the end when the boat is sinking, and you can see Susan's looking out of the window from their cabin because he'd locked her in there. And he takes his wedding ring, holds it up, and then just flips it into the ocean after her. And I thought, what a beautifully sad ending.
And now we know why Luke is moving all of his stuff because apparently he wants to take me on a cruise, even though I get seasick.
Oh no, my
So
plans have been exposed.
this channel is now going to be Serum Lake movies. He's got the comics channel. He's got the other channel.
Oh no, don't tempt me.
Serum Lake reviews.
Yeah. Yeah, well, most of my reviews would be, I don't care about this, it's fine. But yes, that's a joke. We're not going on a cruise because I don't really like water.
Yeah, I love water, but I get seasick. I was on a was it to France?
Yeah,
Yeah, we went from Dover to Calais.
yeah.
And oh, and the thing is, I had just stopped smoking too, and I was pissed because I was nauseous. I needed a cigarette. I didn't need a cigarette. I wanted a cigarette, and I was like, no. Literally, I think I actually said that at some point. Like, no. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
don't want to go on both.
I think one last thing from my side to talk about with Poison Ivy is the Harley Quinn, Batman and Harley Quinn movie where Poison Ivy is the villain.
Yeah.
They teamed her up with Jason Woodrow as the interdimensional plant man again, and when I saw that, I went, no.
Grr.
But they didn't do a bad job there.
I was about to say, you do not besmirch that movie. Thank
No, I mean
you.
I don't hate it like so many other people do because I know exactly what they were
You don't
going
hate
for.
it.
Yeah, yeah, because of the more comedic stuff. Like they always point out like the fart scene.
It's a Harley Quinn movie.
Yeah, or the singing bit in the villains bar or the henchman bar, I should say, where they've got karaoke. Max and Min, Two Face's henchmen are there. I'm like, but didn't they get killed? Apparently not.
People just need to live life.
Yeah, Captain Clown's there getting his moves on with Randa Dwayne, another robot lady.
Live, laugh, love.
Yeah, live and let die.
Lurf, laugh, lurf. I can't remember the sim one. Whatever.
Live, laugh, love.
No.
No, never mind.
That's just exactly what I just
That's
said.
what I just said as well. Yeah.
It's not it.
Anyway,
Comment below.
we're rambling.
As we're speaking in person, just comment below.
Yes,
Mikey P just takes out a huge 500-page notebook,
yeah.
and he goes to the page. He's like, "Give me a moment."
No one has time for that.
I would love that though. I love people that write things down. Like I write a lot of things down on my phone and on paper. Because if I don't, I'll lose my mind.
Yes.
My executive dysfunction will kick in.
But that film showed a breakdown in the relationship between Harley and Ivy. They ended up getting into a fist fight near the end, didn't they? Because Ivy was abandoning her human part and focusing entirely on the plant side, which I can't say his name, Jason Woodrow was trying to pull out. And how weird is it that there's this big like fungal moss man? Well, not really fungal, but you know what I mean, a massive mossy plant man, and his name is Jason from another dimension. Oh, here's Jason.
Jason. Press X for Jason. Anybody remember that?
Yes, but it's cross. Press cross for Jason.
Press X for Jason.
It's cross.
I don't care.
Doesn't sound as catchy though, does it? What was I saying? Yeah.
Sean.
If no one's familiar with Heavy Rain, then this will just sound like you've gone crazy. Yeah, I've completely lost my train of thought there. But anyway,
they get into a fist fight. Can I say something?
Yeah, of course you can.
I am proud to say that I've never been in a fist fight with a lady friend.
Oh, good.
Or a guy friend. I don't think no. Oh, I've never been into a fist fight with a friend. Oh my god, I'm proud of myself. I'm not a violent person, but yeah, just thought you guys should know that.
Yeah.
Please, words, not fists, please. Words, not fists.
So I think one last thing I wanted to say about.
So that was the penultimate thing.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
Yeah. So actually, I just thought of one other thing I wanted to say, and I think that this version of Poison Ivy endures because she's been so influential. So the comics basically just took what BTAS did and ran with it. And Joel Schumacher basically copied BTAS.
Who?
Joel Schumacher, the director, who did Batman Forever and Batman and Robin.
Ocean's movies, didn't he?
Don't think he did.
I don't know who you're talking about.
He did Falling Down.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've heard of the guy. What movie? What's the movie you're talking about?
Right now,
Yeah.
Batman and Robin.
No, that didn't get made. Remember, they just didn't. They didn't make it.
Joel Schumacher regularly copied stuff from BTAS. Like Two-Face's death in Batman Forever was ripped straight from the end of Two-Face Part 2, where Batman throws the box of coins at him. Except he didn't die in the cartoon; he just had a meltdown. And then the whole thing about Poison Ivy being a eco warrior was ripped straight into Batman and Robin, and it's just kind of taken off from there.
That movie was a mess.
Yeah, it was.
We need to do a podcast about that one day.
April Fools, perhaps.
No.
Just because you realise that's coming up soon.
No, just I don't want to talk about that movie. Like I
Suggested
No,
it.
I mean I don't want to like I want to talk about the movie, but I know I would have to rewatch it.
Yes. Anyway, I think I'm done talking about Poison Ivy. Is there anything you want to add, Mary?
A lot of the characters in the show, especially the lady characters in this show, are just they're brilliant because they you think that they are like this damsel in distress at some point, but then they always end up showing you that they can do it on their own. But some of them also accept help. Ivy is not one of those people. I'm joking. She does accept help in some way. But I love that, and I love how absolutely fascinating this character is in this show. And I say that, and I mean that. In the comics, I have tried to. This is like pre, whatever. That's like I tried to look up the earlier Ivy and stuff like that. I just couldn't. My attention just wavered to other things, and I always end up at the same thing.
Yeah.
Always, and it's has nothing to do with Batman. The population of Ireland in 1932. I'm joking, I don't know that one, but usually it's something like that because you go into one wiki jumping essentially, but don't get all of your info from Wikipedia, people. It's that Henry Cavill thing when I don't even know what movie he was being interviewed for or TV show, but the director was like, "Oh yeah, your Wikipedia says this." And he's like, "Wikipedia?" Or however he said it. It's really funny. Um, I felt seen that because I do wiki jump a lot, don't I?
You do.
Especially about the first ladies of the US and how completely awful some of them were. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. I do want to mention this briefly. Because I usually have a way of doing the podcast, or Luke and I have a way of doing the podcast, things are gonna go a little bit we're gonna have things done a little bit quicker. Um this week and next, or sorry, not this week, the next week and the week after, because we have things to do on Sunday. So we will record this a day or two early. So I just wanted to tell you guys that.
Yeah, we try to record on Saturdays, but it doesn't always happen.
Yeah.
But it will definitely have to happen for the next 2 weeks. Otherwise, we won't be recording podcasts.
But yeah, I want to record the podcast. So I just wanted to tell you guys that.
Yep.
And I also wanted to just thank you guys for being you. And I hope everyone's safe after that big snowstorm. I haven't actually looked. I've seen cat videos of snowstorms. I will say that, but I don't know if they're recent. But I know there was supposed to be a huge snowstorm in the States, and I know that my family was a little bit affected by it, but not too much. As in they didn't lose power or anything, but I know a lot of people did, and yeah. I hope you guys are all right. Um, I know in the last podcast we were very vocal about like my political stance. I just want to thank you guys for not hating me for that. And I, in terms of all of that, I hope everyone's safe. And also, please don't forget to wear SPF. I know I say that a lot. Drink your SPF. Drink your SPF. Drink your water and wear your SPF, even if it's cloudy outside. Okay, because those rays be getting bad and they make your skin bad. And stay hydrated because it's always a good thing. I love you guys.